I guess I could look at the stream.
Yeah, it's up.
Alright, gang, we're back. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I don't know how far you missed, so I'm not really gonna recap everything. I'm just gonna, we're here. And
My
nothing's
internet
happened.
sucks.
You've missed a whole lot of farming, so you
I'm
might as well have
harassing
been.
him in the top lane.
Guys,
You might as well have been watching Lugo's RuneScape Fest again, because that's all it was.
you guys missed a huge invade bot. It was a 5-man, 5 flashes were burned. It was glorious.
The only thing you might have missed was some of us talking about how we felt like this was mostly skill matchup lanes, and it's a matter of who can play their chance better at this point. I don't think either team lost this draft, and I don't think either team won this draft. I think it's very much based on straight up their play and their macro at this point. So it's
One thing to
good for a fun
keep
one.
up in the bot lane with is that one thing that's making it difficult for the bot lane of Team Foreskin is how well their pillar to block Brand away from hitting abilities and keep the enemy team at a distance.
I mean, I can see that, and I know that's one of the strong points to the Trundle support. But I don't know.
Well, I'm not saying he's winning it. I'm just saying that that's what I'm watching. Ooh,
Okay, that
having
game.
an engage happening in the bot lane.
We got
Burn, flash, on
no flash was burned. Actually, it was just the exhaust from Gert and the ignite from Panda.
Yeah, I didn't mean flash.
Okay.
Tired of coming out of me. I meant the ignite from Fleeing Bandit coming OP.
Traded the ignite for the exhaust. They are the same cooldown, and neither one of them are running insight, the mastery that grants lower cooldown. A nice stun from Panda.
But heal going down from bot lane, so Everett is not going to continue to follow up. As we noticed though, Malzahar defording the jungle of...
He's level 6.
Yeah, and they're going to run down. They might have
OP has no heal, and the flash means nothing against Maokai. But it looks like they're just going to back off. Probably smart, but a little risky to try that dive. Gert does have a way to negate the nether grass from JR, which is pillar. And it's still Trundle Caitlyn, some of the easiest combination to dive.
That's another thing to point out is Dirt may be looking to, save his pillar to stop the Malzahar, and the Gragas as well can also stop the Malzahar. Might be a little.
I don't know. I'm curious if Dark Procession, the Yorick baby cage. I'm curious to see if that ability, if it displaces. And if it would stop the mouse
from J-Rock.
He's gonna live? Barely.
Just barely live with those last couple birds. Flash going from Sayato, not gonna get nothing done on the Fish Baby bot in the top lane.
And ultimately both
might die. QE and goodbye, Fish Baby bot.
Well played by Jingo. I don't know if he missed his flash body slam or if it just didn't get lined up enough, but he's Gragas. It's still got enough damage to make it happen.
Yeah, Gragas things.
And not going to be able to deny the entire minion wave, going to be able to deny the cannon and a few creeps. Oh, actually, that was JR TPing in to catch that.
To stop the crazy split push from Sayato.
Well, yeah, because Sayato, his ult had been used, so he didn't have that, but it's still Yorick.
And they might be actually doing they might actually be doing a lane swap.
They 100% are, and so this is interesting. I don't see it working poorly. Jace into Swain, however, is not the most fun, but as I highlighted at one point, I think the stream was off though. Fish Baby Bot on this Jace, I've played against it. He doesn't necessarily trade too aggressively in most matchups. He just kind of farms and gets to his power spikes. And I don't know, maybe they are. This is some spicy plays here.
We're having it in the bot lane.
And it's just
Brand Gert's just gonna back off. Doesn't have.
Okay, so it's not a full lane swap. It was JR TP top to catch that wave, and then Fish Baby roamed mid to catch the mid wave, and then they resumed to their normal waves. We're gonna see a 2v2 coming up, and Cerberus is half health. He does not have level 6, where Jingo does. They don't know that Jingo's in the background, but what a cast! Oh,
But
the sapling!
Ooh, and the ult down through, and Super Huggies walking to the wrong neighborhood.
The saplings picked up the kill for Sir Everett. I love it.
Yep, you're a little ahead of me.
Well, no, I was just like recapping what happened in the fight when the saplings took it. That's all.
Well, you were actually.
Oh,
slightly
I actually thought it was behind you, but either way,
Yeah, we just respect them.
the play got called. Things happened. We said them.
We said things. Ult came down for the mouth of her.
Oh, that's a nice
Oh,
Super Huggy. That was an incredible play.
he might still be dead.
Oh,
Should
why
we say
is
it's?
he
He walked back in. Ooh,
Yeah,
he
okay,
got balls
he's
of
gonna
steel, my guy.
walk away and live, but he should not have.
That's the second time now that Hoagie lives with the sliver, a sliver of health, and I said sliver, not siver.
With a sliver of health.
My name's Caleb, and I make puns. Alright, so now that all said and done, still pretty even, 10 minutes in. It's about a 300 gold lead. Oh, nice job stopping the back there by Obi. If he can get in range from ult, he could potentially snipe off Fleeing Panda, but it looks like that's not going to happen. And yeah, it's very even across the board so far. I do have to say, on the side of Psycho Boy, I don't know if he started with. I think he started with Longsword and 3 pods. But if he didn't start with Longsword and 3 pods, I would have loved to have seen him instead of going BF and Longsword, go BF and Boots. But, you know, that's minor.
Sir Everett, I will have to give so much props to him for his playmaking.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He really, really knows his champions that he's playing. And is this guy, is he a main jungler for someone?
No, he's a sub right now. He's on the sub list.
He needs to be.
I mean, he wanted to be, but there just wasn't an opportunity for it with rosters. We're gonna see a gank coming in here from Service and a TP play. This is a huge 4-man bot.
He's gonna get stunned on and he's gonna die.
And it's a 3-0 Maokai.
Fleeing Panda, great job using the brand combo to stun Caitlyn down for the root from Maokai. Meanwhile, Sayato is just going to push for years, as you know.
This might end up being an Ocean Drake traded for first tower.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was close.
It will be, because JR will try and beat Sayato, but the tower's gone.
Saito just doing what he loves to do and just pushing towers. And there it is, first tower gold over to the Yorick. Not sure that that's enough gold to help him snowball yet, but I mean, it's still Yorick. He's still just gonna go do Yorick things in the sideline all game. Which is the whole goal of this comp, I think, for, I almost called him grabbing by the Greg. That would not be right.
Do not grab them by the Greg.
No, please don't. Please do not.
The man is sleeping right now. No means no, but no when you're sleeping definitely means no.
Yo, you know Greg would say yes.
While he's sleeping? I don't know Greg like that. But anyway, back to
what I was saying. I think the whole idea of their comp is the 1-4. It's you have the Gragas disengage, you have the Trundle disengage, you have Caitlyn. They just hold mid, and Sayato takes every tower on the side. The trick to that is that Chase is also incredibly good in the 1-4, and they're playing into 1-4. So Sayato at some point is going to have to show that he can kill him.
Good split push would be with a Trundle now that they changed his Q back to being able to challenge turrets.
The only caveat with that though is that Trundle in this comp isn't the split pusher. If it's the Trundle top lane, yes, I agree 100%.
I'm speaking more of like not just like
Just in general, yeah.
alone. I just mean like being able to attack turrets with like they only got maybe 5 auto attacks on a turret, and got a couple hundred damage, which is more than I would have expected.
I see what you're saying.
TPUs from Super Hoagie to the mid lane, down about
like 25.
Yeah, 25
or so.
Math is so easy at
Dang, theater major.
1:40 in the morning.
I was a math major at one point.
Like 4 minutes, maybe.
And then I hit Calc 3. And it was just a big old nope.
See,
I'm done.
That's funny, because I was a science major until I was taking anatomy, physiology, and chemistry.
Jingo Chain might be a little caught out here. Not gonna be able to get the blast cone. 100% caught out.
Yeah, 100% super dead.
Unfortunate. Unlucky, as they say.
Team
might
4S
be
Game doing pretty good work on getting the objective game. They're gonna go for Herald.
They're
grab that, or Sunset's Drag is just doing the short game. I want to grab them by the dragon. I'm upset with it.
Well, and I think that's the only game they can afford to play right now. But Hoagie
looks like he's gonna try to put J-Bar behind, back on the ball as they're trying to.
Yeah.
Good trade in the bot lane, and it looks like the Rift Herald is gonna go over to. Flash by Jingo and Chain to try and get a smite, but no, not gonna happen.
But no bueno. And if we really look at it here for a second, we're gonna see a dive coming in onto Psycho Boy.
They're going hard.
Use your ult. Use your ult. Thank you.
So that's 2 flashes and down bot. No, just 1 flash.
No.
If I'm talking about mechanics really quick, I try not to talk about mechanics too much, but in the event that Psycho Boy watches this back, legitimately, in that case, ult first, save your sums, use your sums to the last ditch if you have to. Just as a friendly word of advice, that's all I'm gonna say on the matter. But yeah, really, if you're talking about
diving on a J-Rar,
so
more ability off.
Oh, nice ult by Jingo.
Gets the kill. Sir Everett's with a great ult, but
and you were commenting on how Seven Shades of Grey was playing the tower game while Foreskin was playing the objective game. That's because that's really the only game that Seven Shades of Grey can play right now. They're not strong enough to contest these objectives right now, but they have a pushing lane bot, and they have a York who's doing generally okay. And so that's the game they can play. They can play the tower game. They can just take the standing gold, get maybe to the point where they can then be strong enough to contest some of these objectives, and then start to win some of these fights. But
yeah,
smart on them to know what they can contest right now, know what they can't contest right now.
Right now.
Yes.
What I was gonna say is that sorry.
You're good, dude. It's like 2 in the morning.
Thought is gone. Thought is gone.
Lugo, did you have any thoughts since Frank lost his? Maybe his jumped in the air.
Well, if you look at the bottom lane, so the mid and top are very much the focus right now, whereas bot lane's kind of been seceding their. Ooh, that flash by J-Rar.
Ooh, flash. That's running though. Don't know why he stopped for any amount of time. Oh, Pyroclasm.
That's actually a smart choice because not only do they force them to go back, but that's just a free Infernal Drake for them unless Jingo and Chain can smite it away.
Sorry, you were saying something though.
And then stuff happened.
Yeah,
it's okay.
And if you look at this fight, Caitlyn's actually not gonna go B. She's probably just gonna have to use her ult and that's it. But all the gold in Seven Shades of Raids are in their bot lane, especially with that lead. And so
trying to burst down Toby, but he's getting a lot of. Jingo and Chan, they're trying to kill Sir Robert. He can double kill happening for Fish Baby Bot. Yeah, with the damage, they're still gonna be able to push. The Dragon set for a quick moment as Jingo is trying to fight Jiro, but T4S Game will entertain the Dragon.
Good dodge on the shock blast.
Jingo and good run away because Fish Baby Bot will hurt very bad.
Yeah, so like even though Sivir was taken out early in the fight, if you notice, a lot of the gold on Team Foreskin is in the mid lane, in the top lane, in the jungle. So yeah, they took out the carry, but they took out the wrong carry. They need to take out J-Raw right now. And whereas Kate was like not in that fight at all, and she has, especially with that 147 CS, it's like that's a huge amount of gold that was just like not in that fight because she was forced out so early.
One interesting thing that we've seen from Jingo is he's elected to go, not Rune Wave, what's it called, Runic Echoes, as opposed to Cinderhold. And I know with the changes to Cinderhold, I believe it was on 713, might have been 714, I don't remember, where it was essentially like 200 gold cheaper.
Oh, so it looks like
oh my gosh, this 20-minute Baron. This is a play right out of Parp's playbook, and I remember I know it got done against us when I was subbing for Team Foreskin, and we were like, oh my gosh, they took Baron that quick. And I think this is an incredible call. They have the Malzahar, they have Sivir. Sivir's pretty solid at dealing damage to Baron, and this is gonna be a free Baron. Sayato was just walking over to maybe take Scuttlecrab. Discovers Baron's gone. Great back row play.
Yeah, and it was good too for them to drop the Herald times too, because they ended up, using that as a distraction.
I think it just kind of happened that way too, because it was probably timing out anyway. So it's just like, whoa, we gotta drop this. Oh, let's go take Baron. Like, I don't think it was a premeditated thing, but it worked out really well. However they came to it.
Where it has been a premeditated thing, where they will drop the Herald close to time
and then
immediately Baron.
I mean, maybe they thought ahead of it. I'm not discounting that. I just know there's a chance that that's what happened. I'm a little intrigued that Fish Baby Bot's not going for the Dusk Blade. And I know there were some nerfs to it, specifically nerfing its effect for ranged champions. But Jace is the one champion that's ranged that can actually still get the slow off because he's also melee. So like, I'm a little intrigued he's not going for that. But maybe because there's some tankier champions on the side of Seven Shades of Grey, he's electing to just go for that Black Cleaver, go for that Armor Shred, instead of Flat Armor Pen.
I don't know who I'm more afraid of in this late game.
Sivir.
Between who?
Sivir is going to be a monster because what Seven Shades of Greg is really going to want to do is group, and that's their team comp. But Sivir just like melts back lines with her boomerang ricochet.
Yeah, like Sivir's so good in tank metas, and especially with that buff. Like, if Psychoboy can stay safe in these team fights, I think Team Foreskin wins those fights just by them having Sivir as opposed to.
Oh
my gosh!
Great
Holy body slam!
Sayato solo.
Oh my gosh! Is that him?
I think Jay has a good chance of fighting him, but the problem with that fight is that the little minions from Sayato were wailing on J-Rar while he was ulting. And so as soon as Sayato came out of the ult, he used his one. I don't know what the ability is, but he kind of just like, I think it's last rites. Just use last rites once to bring the axe or the shovel down.
Well,
J-Rar.
and one of the things about our league, obviously there are players with different skill level, that's going to create some interesting matchups at play where you have players playing against people who are 2-3 ranks higher or lower than them. But you can never count out a player who's on their comp, and that is what Yorick is for Sayato. He knows this champion inside and out, and is easily far and above better than a lot of people will be on champions that they're just not as comfortable on.
Unfortunately, with J-Rock
No, Opie, no, no. Oh, the QSS.
the QSS
Woo.
is going
Save
to let
his life.
Opie live.
Whew.
What I was going to say is that looks like they're going for
You thought you were gonna say.
coming in from the Jays, which is going to leave free split with Rain. Ooh, he's going to cancel.
Good cancel.
Stop the split pushing from Sayada. What I was going to say, now again, range again. Never-ending fights here.
Well, we touched on that a little bit. Both these teams just kind of want to have these long, drawn-out fights. Siver's really good in those fights. Malzahar's really good in those fights. They want time to just whittle you down, poke you down, use the Rylai's that JR has, utilize the ricochet crits that Cycloid has, and just kite you and just chase you all throughout a lane. And we're gonna see potentially a full all in here. Maokai's getting locked down, getting strong.
Yeah, Maokai's taking a lot of damage.
Good.
Great.
Good pyroclasm there by Fleeing Panda. It was bouncing between all three of the members in that fight.
TP from J-Rod stopped with from Jingo and Chain.
One of the things too that I think.
Meanwhile, Sayado and 330 Bot are skirmishing in top.
One of the things too about Sivir as opposed to Caitlyn. I'm gonna talk about that. Why is Jingo there? Oh no.
Fish Baby Bot is going to need to flash away because Sayado is just stopping.
Is Jingo gonna get out?
Meanwhile, by bot lane, anyway, Kurt's trying to.
Jingo's gonna get out. He's gonna get away.
Kurt's gonna flash away. They're taking his dragon, but Sayado is getting incredible damage down on that top turret. It's gonna be worth it. They're gonna back off the dragon to try and stop him, but it's too late.
This is the same. This is what he does. This is what this man does on the org.
Is going to the very low Jingo.
But this is all good for them. This is all good for them. They're stopping the bags.
Take Nexus.
This is all they wanted. They don't care if they die here. They just want to stop bags and let Sayado do his thing. I guarantee you that was a call. It's we're gonna stop their backs. Who cares if we die? And they only lost one, and they got an inhib and a little bit of damage on the Nexus tower. Like, well played. Good 4-1 by. Almost got him grabbed by the Greg again. 7 Shades of Greg. Dang it! And they get the dragon. 7 Shades of Greg playing this comp really well. And I think what catalyzed a lot of that. Jingo and Chain kind of got caught. It looked like he was going for the scuttle crab, and then all of a sudden 4 people showed up right next to him, and he had this like great escape running through the jungle, and managed to survive. And I think that started literally all of that because it stalled enough time that Sayado could do what he did.
It's unfortunate too that for Team Foreskin that it was a mountain drag because if Sayado decided to use bot lane and then split push that, well, grab the, gosh darn it, 7 Shades of Greg, try to stay there. He's just gonna melt towers and get Nexus turrets, even if the Baron is lost by
Yeah, 100%.
The Gregs, whatever they are.
This cast is devolving thanks to tiredness. Curse you and your guys' late scheduling. I'm gonna make a petition to change 7 Shades of Greg team name to grab them by the Shades of Greg. Obviously, it's destined that they have grabbed them in their team name, but I know it's not gonna happen.
I think you're just trying to bring. I think.
Grab them by the Teemo was the best team ever, so they need to be immortalized in history. So now we're gonna get another 1-4. Looks to be set up. Looks like Baron is what the 4 are gonna play around, and Sayado's just gonna go bot lane. And he's already shown that despite the lead that Fishabot had in this game early, Sayado's still strong. Sayado can still solo kill him. Exactly what I was talking about. where if they want this comp to work, Saito has to be able to win the 1v. And right now he can. And there's not much that Fisher will be able to do if Saito can just kill him, other than grouping with the 5 and just forcing a 5v4. JR is looking to be the one to potentially answer, but JR even died to him once in the solo, and I don't know if he's going to be able to save this tower from going down. It's already at half health. 4th health, that tower's gone, and they haven't even really started fighting yet. Yeah, Saito's just going to take the tower, and mid lane we're going to see some action. I don't hear Frank, so I'm just going to take this one away, and the whole goal of just stalling.
JR gets an ult down on the side.
So JR does end up winning the 1v1 in bot lane, but right now it's a 4v3 in the mid lane, and they're just going to try and play some tower sieging. Play nice and slow.
But Robert's going to massive ult down. OP. Can he do the shields? OP should now back away. That was very.
That is a clean. Oh, except for the Gragas escape.
So it does end up being a 4v1 across map, and this is going to look to be mid lane towers as well as probably Baron on the back end.
I
Although
don't think they'll be able to Baron.
I think they're smart to take the mid turret.
oh, 100%. The standing gold is good here, especially with having their inhib down top lane. I don't know if they can get the inhib as well.
Jace
But
and Silver just take that so quickly.
oh yeah. And I actually really like the call that they made to throw Fleeing Panda into the top lane to clear those super minions that were coming in. Obviously, we know like super minions have negative magic resist, makes AP champions very adept at clearing them, especially when your name is Brand. And
It looks like with JR and stuff
oh wow.
going bot, 17th Greg is going to rush this Baron.
They take this really quick with this mountain. It's already at half health. They don't even know. They're foreskinning the foreskinners, sneaking their own Baron.
Yeah, and
Wow.
they take that Baron quick and easy.
And now you throw Saito bot lane. He has TP, and you set up the same 4-1 you did last time. Only now Saito has Baron buff to back him up.
I don't even know what they could have done better in that situation coming from Team Foreskin.
The only thing Foreskin could have done differently is not show bot lane.
Not have to show bot lane.
But even then, I don't know if you win the 5v5. I feel like the reason they got those wins, the fight win that they did just then, was because, you know, JR won the 1v1, and then they managed to force what became eventually a 4v3. Although we see the engage coming in.
He's gonna get nuked. Cerberus trying to take out the Maokai.
Good pillar by Gert to slow down the engagement.
Good job.
See, I don't know why Saito didn't just go bot lane and just go 4-1. Even if, see, he's gonna go top lane now and potentially get this inhib. Even if you go bot and you get answered, you get killed, you just do what you did last time. You just set up your Baron push, and you just say, I'm gonna ignore you, I'm gonna take this tower.
And if you notice that last team fight, if you notice, like, very much no one even attempted to try getting Sivir in the back line. She was just free to just auto, and that's really what like won them that fight.
Exactly. And that's the glory of Sivir, and that's why she's so good in tank fights. She's got her in tank meta, she's got the spell shield to keep herself safe. On top of the fact that the risk that you have to take to get your damage off in team fights is so small. You don't have to risk anything. You just attack whatever's closest to you and hope your team can not die. Like, it's such an easy
Chained are dueling with each other. Though.
tank fight.
Yeah.
Oh, that healing.
Why no one is joining Jingo when the bot lane was just walking on the other side of the wall, blue buff? I mean, I guess, you know.
Yo, you don't interrupt the tank fight, that's why.
JR is healthy too, so Sayato. So I think it's starting to stop the split push coming from Yorick.
Yeah, I think that's actually working out fairly well for them. They can easily, like,
Yeah.
with the Malzahar and the Jace, in this 4-1, it's actually easy enough now that I look at it, especially since they both have TP, to throw either one of them in the 1. They both have solid wave clear alone. They both have good anti-siege potential in the 1 with their poke damages. It works out well, and so I think they're doing it smart. Whoever can actually handle the York is the one on the sideline. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I think another one of the issues that's happening, slowing down Seven Shades of Grey.
I think. Sorry.
What?
I just think they're scared right now. Like they're playing like a team that doesn't have Baron, that's not evenly matched. They're scared to pull the trigger.
Yeah, I mean they're even in gold. The engage coming in from Sir Everett's. Opie's dead.
Because I mean, like if 7 Shades of Greg is just gonna let them engage like this.
And Psycho Boy having free reign to step up. Good on him, playing really well in this game. The only thing that's happening is it was a 1-3-1 that they were entered in. And so we see Sato going for play, forces the flash onto JR. Fish Bot's gonna kill Super Hoagie in the bot lane as all this is going down. Sato still looking to make a solo kill. Solo kills JR again, gonna get the hit. But
just destroys him.
This game is going haywire. He's gonna look for another kill on the Fish Bot, gonna force another flash. And he's taking Nexus Towers.
I don't know what Jingo's Unchained's doing. He just.
I think this is a terrible idea. I think he's trying to stall.
This game is everywhere.
Or stall for.
Yeah. The longer this game goes out, the better it is for Team Foreskin, honestly. Like, 7 Shades of Greg just look like they're scared to do anything until
it's too late.
Until Foreskin does something. They're waiting. They're reacting. They're not being proactive. I think like they essentially threw their Baron lead. Like all they got was an inhib that was like already like open, and they lost. And they were already pushed knocking on the doors. They just needed to apply the pressure. They got engaged with Baron, basically halfway at the midpoint.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen. They should get engaged, engaged at the bottom or the mid near their enemy turret if they have Baron.
Well, I wonder if just like maybe a little bit of different allocation of their people would have helped out at all there. If you look, Gert's pretty much been by OP side the whole game, which is fine. He's a support. I wonder if you maybe throw Gert up in top lane with Sayato and just tell OP like just stay at your tower and don't die.
They need to be running a 1-4. They need to put like.
You think they stay on the 1-4, or do you think if they throw the trundle with York, it gives York enough presence to handle JR?
What they need to do now to really like solidify this game, which they kind of see what they're doing. They need to put Saito in the bot lane, and they need to put all 4 man in the mid lane. That's what they need to do right now.
I know. Like if I'm in this stage and I'm trying to shock all this game out, and we're hitting our head against a glass wall and nothing's changing. Obviously, if you change and you maybe don't play so scared, that's one change to make. And they haven't necessarily really tried that because they haven't really pulled the trigger on any engagements lately. I wonder if maybe just a different allocation of manpower is what could change it. That was something that my team did one game. We were losing pretty bad, and we just switched up. We said, you know, I'm just gonna go to the solo lane. I was on Lissandra, all things. I was like, I'm just gonna push. I'm just gonna see what happens. And it actually opened up a little bit of a win potential for us because we had the pressure there. It was just something different, something changed, and I wonder if maybe just something different out of the box that you wouldn't necessarily think of if you're Team Foreskin and you're wondering what they're going to try.
One of the good things right now that's happening for 7 Shades of Greg is that they're using their super minions well. They're having more pressure than Team Foreskin is by stopping the mid wave of the opposing super minions while they're at the inhib. This could be something like their Baron or.
And we got a fight brewing. This is a 4v3.
And Zerus gets feeling Pyroclasm, gets good damage onto 7 Shades of Greg. Oh, there's a couple of stuff away.
What really like solidified that fight for Team Shades of Oh, and J4 just
JR's dead. Sato's gonna take this tower.
This is blowing.
He's just gonna split push his way to victory potentially.
Yeah. And this is what they needed to do. They needed to put Sai out on the bot lane. And and they need to keep their the other team forward. Why they lost the other time was because they had Swain pushing in the bot lane also, and Swain just used all his mana to push, and that's how he ended up dying, was because it was easy pickings for Jace to just kill him because he had no mana.
Yep, Sayato feels really at home on this champion, and you can tell. And he might be able to push a Nexus tower here. They're gonna try and stop some backs. They're gonna be able to generally be stopping them. Fish Baby Bot's gonna look to maybe solo kill him, but he's not gonna be able to finish it off completely, but does enough damage to Sayato that he makes them respect him. But Sayato's gonna hang around, keep Baron buff on his wave and on his ZZ route minions. But if he's backing off now, I was gonna say if he overstays his welcome, he might get picked off.
I think too, one of the important things that we haven't talked about that I think could have thrown the game in favor of Seven Shades Greg a lot earlier. It's just I'm not liking the Swain on Pokey right now.
I just think he's built way too defensively.
Well, he's too defensive because he just keeps getting blown up. There was a couple times where he's trying to engage, be in the front lines of his fights, and it's just getting shredded. He's not really doing a whole lot of work for.
Well, it looks like he's building into what's going to finish off his builds. That's going to be either Randuin's or Frozen Heart, and then Thornmail. So he's pretty much a full tank Swain right now. It's pretty much.
I think he's going straight into Thornmail.
Yeah, I don't know why he's building that.
Does Warden's Mail? Is Warden's Mail that builds into Thornmail now? I'm dumb.
I think he just wants to counteract.
Well, if you think about it, if you think about Thornmail, all the while, Sayato's just pushing mid lane now, opening up a free Elder Drake. But if you think about Thornmail as an item, it's not going to do much against a Sivir or a Jace because they're very ability based in their damage and they're not actually auto attacking you that much. We might see Sayato get picked out of position, but he now has Elder Drake to back him up, and it's a 2-stack Elder Drake. JR is just kind of trying to channel his inner Sayato here and just doing some solo split pushing. But now we see a interesting 4-1 split with the Gragas bot. I don't know that I agree with that. He's your main disengage. But at the same time, the tower they need to take is mid. I think you send Sayato into top lane right now, alone, take the pressure away, and then force them to respond to him, and then your team can take mid lane.
Yeah,
And now we're gonna have a full-on team fight. Can Opie stay safe long enough? He cannot. But Sayato's still hammering away at the mid lane. It's gonna be triple inhibs. Well, okay, double inhibs.
My client's just freezing the run.
Can Sayato no? They take down a Nexus turret. This game is crazy. I don't know what's happening anymore.
And I don't know, I saw that fight and Psycho Bully, he's just not autoing. He straight up walked up to Swain and just wasn't autoing. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. But
Sayato is just doing whatever he wants with the structures of T4S Game. And Jingo picks up the kill on Psycho Boy. They're gonna eventually pick up the kill onto Sayato and onto Gert. It's gonna be a 4-for-1 again. It's gonna be actually a clean ace, but their base is in shambles. And Hoagie's up in 4. Opie's up right now. I guess it's not actually technically a clean ace. This game is crazy. I don't even know what to say about this one anymore.
Well, honestly, Team Foreskin should be winning these fights. I just don't see Sivir autoing. She's just not autoing, and that's a lot of why they're not.
But they are winning these fights. They're up 24 kills to 10. They just don't have tower pressure because they don't have any way to really answer the Yorick right now.
Yeah, they're winning these fights, but they should be dominating these fights. They should be able to get clean aces with a no damage Swain in a very in this Kate that just keeps getting dove on so well by both Maokai and Fish Baby.
Yeah. This game is nuts. This is one of the craziest. This is one of the craziest games I've seen in a while from the PMA LCS. If you recall, the game where Sayato got York last was, like I said, the game that the Total Torpedoes won. And it was kind of like this, where like his team was behind, but they had good wave clear, and Sato could just go whatever he wanted in the side lane. But they weren't. The kill count was a lot closer. Um,
Jared's done
than
a
this
great job at just getting turrets here and there when he
Yeah.
sees the opportunity. Farm is incredible. You know, it must be
He's
getting
gonna-
frustrating for him right now. He really is.
I don't even know what to tell either team to do.
They like honestly, they're not using Scioto correctly. They're like not pressuring with him. They're just kind of like they sometimes pressure with him and then they sometimes group with him. They need to make a decision collectively to pressure with him and then have everyone running a 1-4. Like that last team fight, Gragas was the 1-4. Like Gragas was the one. That should never happen. It should be Scioto always on that one.
Well, and I think I know why they went with that path, because the mid lane tower was one that they needed to get down, and they were going with the fact that Scioto had the Triforce. But the one thing that you can't forget when you have a split pusher is even if everything on the side lanes is already taken, you can still have him just pressure, especially with
It also might be big. It is a very long day, and they might just it might be just the taxing of like a long day, honestly.
Oh yeah, shot calling in game, especially this late, is not easy. It looks like we're gonna see a 1-0 for setup. Not a bad play. You've got the supers in the mid lane, and the 4 needs to just keep disengaging, keep running. Don't engage. Don't engage. Good disengage. Even if you have to lose somebody, you lose somebody. You run away. You run away. Which they're doing, and you let Scioto go do his thing, which he's doing. This is exactly what needs to happen generally, because they're stalling enough time right now that Scioto might be able to end the game. It's a matter of how long can Gert and Jingo live. The Nexus towers are gone. Can Scioto finish off the Nexus right here, right now? He's gonna be able to do it. That's gonna be GG. And with that, the game ends.
Yeah, like honestly, this game should have been over like 12, 15 minutes ago. I don't know why Seven Shades of Greg continued to just like they weren't utilizing Scioto correctly. They kept wanting to.
I think I have the answer for why it took them that long. It's because 1-4s are really hard to execute, especially when you're running it with a sub. That's it. It takes such coordination. We ran a lot of 1-4s my team last for it. It took so much practice to make it actually work well. And that was with the same squad of people. And if you try running that with somebody who you're not as familiar with, and it's gonna be messed up. It's gonna be a little muddled. So after that monster of a game, I'm gonna get the MVP poll up. I'm speechless. I have nothing to say. That game.
Like it definitely like this MVP is all Scioto. Like
I can't disagree, but I still have to post it for.
He was the one applying the pressure. He was the one getting the turrets, the objectives, and the kills that led to more objectives. Gragas had a couple good ults. Trundle was always a safe disengager, but Scioto was just very much on top of this game, very much in the driving seat. But if you just look at the damage charts, though, Jace, Malzahar, they were pumping out massive amounts of damage.
Oh yeah, and that's what I was talking about. Like they were winning team fights handily. They just had no way to answer the York and also take objectives off of the fights they won. That's part of the pain of playing against York. And if I'm top lane and I'm playing against like a York or a Gragas or a Nasus, I meant Gangplank or a Nasus or anything that just whenever I go try and team fight, they just push a tower. It's so tilting because you're like, we just gotta win, but we're losing our base. It's not that fun to play against, honestly, but it's a really effective style, and I know that Scioto's really at it, and he plays it really well, and shows why most teams ban it against him pretty much every game. So, with that, we are going to get the 2-0 from Seven Shades. I don't know what that looks like for standings, but I do believe that actually would put them up into playoff contention, which is huge. I think that's the main goal, especially for a lot of the teams that have been sitting at the bottom of the table. They just want to make playoffs. They just want to make that 6th spot. It's a pretty heated race, and this actually really heats it up. that they got this 2-0 because I believe it puts them at 7 points. I know like my team Chase Squad was sitting in 6th place before this, and we were at 5. So that in and of itself is going to give them a huge boost towards a potential playoff run. So let me get a hold of Syato because we do know he's MVP from 1, and I'll tell him to get in here. So,
Or get in the.
yeah.
We'll be jumping over to player of the game chat.
Oh, right. Let me message him. And I'm gonna talk to JR and see if he wants to be in. Since we do this thing now, we're losing captains get a chance to be in on the interview. I'm just gonna check with him.
I mean, if I was him, I would not want to talk right now. That game.
I mean, I understand, but
that game tilted me for his team.
dude, I feel you. 100%, I feel you. And if and yeah, it's Sayato game 2. 4 votes. I'm calling it with that. So it's gonna be Sayato MVP from game 2. We're gonna hop over to that channel. So I'll see you guys over there.
Hey.
Wow, perfect timing.
What
that
up?
really was. That was actually like
Always
crazy. So I want to start off. Congrats to Sayato. I know you're subbing, but you played really well this series.
Oh, yeah. I'd
Yes,
just like to
MVP.
say I represented Tilted Torpedoes better tonight than we actually are.
Well, I think York's 2-0 now on the split, and that's pretty much you, isn't he?
2-0 and 17 towers.
17 towers. Oh my gosh. And Jay, you're here. So we'll get input from you. I have questions for you also. So I'm just gonna start it off. Sayato. It with the way that game wound up going down, we felt on the caster desk like the 4-1 wasn't necessarily played perfectly, and that like the game came on a lot earlier. If things have been pressured differently, places at different times. And I just wanted to kind of get your perspective because I know 4-1s can be tricky, and I don't know like if you were just doing what they told you or if you were just kind of doing whatever and they played around it.
For most of the game, I was listening to their shot calling because they got along really well. But then every time we had to start split pushing, I was kind of just, they were like, let's go here. And I'm like, no, guys, go down there. Go down bot. Please, just go down there. I'm going to get top. Go down there. I'm waiting till you're there. I'm going to stand here until you're there. Now I'm going.
So
And so
yeah, I got you.
I was
that
making
kind of,
split pushing calls, but most of the other calls were all Garrett and Mike down in the bot lane.
which makes sense. And it one of the things I'd said was like, when you're running a 4-1, it's really tough to coordinate normally. Not to mention when you're coordinating it with somebody who's not your normal roster. So I mean, I could understand where like it can be tough to make those calls and make those plays on the spot with no experience running that type of comp with that roster. So
Yeah, we went into the picks for the game when they were asking what to play, what should we play, and I said make sure whatever you have has a strong team fight presence because I'm not going to be with you for the entirety of the game. I'm going to be in another lane, so be able to last without me. So we'd at least manage to make a comp that would work for it.
well, it didn't really because they couldn't survive, but it worked out okay.
It worked for it. The towers went down. That's what matters.
They got mollywopped like every time that you were taking your tower. So,
But
I'm gonna
towers.
give my input on
yes,
that real
please,
quick.
Please
So let me let me give my insight on the draft, which I know you're not in charge of, Saito. Whenever you run a 1-3-1 or 1-for-1, I think it is important to have a good team fight presence without the one. But I think even more importantly, it's important to have a good disengage. And Gragas is great for that. And that was a perfect champion for that. But the problem was they weren't reacting accordingly. Like, I don't know how you were shot calling or whatever. They were slightly late on all their disengages, and my team was slightly late on our, like, hey, let's get the fuck out. York is literally stalling. Like, I knew what was going to happen. And there were points where I would say, like, you were bot lane at one point pushing bot inhib, and the rest of the team was taking Baron, which I'm sure was like you had part of that call. And I was like, we should just fight this. If we try to steal it, we're wasting time sitting there. We need to just go in. And as the casters can see, which I don't know if y'all had vision, instead it was like they were waiting for me to get there, and I was like, you need to go now, make shit happen, and then we can all go back for Yorick.
Well, it kind of goes back to
happen. Oh, sorry.
It kind of goes back, like what you said goes back to what they were saying about coordination. How long it took everybody else to get out of fights. That's just something you work on when you're running your one for comp, on how long to stay in and what turns it into a fight rather than a siege.
Yeah, we were all speechless by the end of the game. The combination of being tired and a combination of, like, that game was ridiculous.
Also, let me see.
Frank, did you have any questions off the top of your head right now?
No.
Frank's too tired.
One question I will ask is I'm curious on the picks from mid lane from J specifically because I think he played great both games, and in general is an incredible mid laner, but I felt like I was just seeing a different style of him today. Usually playing something that's more
an assassin.
Yeah, an assassin, and instead you didn't really play an assassin.
Yeah.
Either game, and so why is that?
So this goes back to kind of my not new, but what I really aim to be like my insight on the team. Winning is great, right? And as I've expressed before to like many of the brothers, my main goal really is to just improve as a player myself, as a team player, and to help my team improve. And I feel like if we continuously run, whether it works for us or not, the flank thing with the Sejuani and the Fizz, or like Diana or Ari, assassins, etc., that doesn't really, if we only play one specific play style, like let's flank and team fight and pick this one person, etc., then we don't really advance as players. And so I love winning, and I love to play to win, but I think more importantly than that is to improve, like, the knowledge of the game. And that's why, recently you've seen we've put Andrew on, like, Caitlyn and Sivir instead of, like, just Zyre, Ezreal. I know that those things are less confident for him, and, like, we just threw Brandon there, and he did great. I mean, like, none of our kill death ratios were bad. It was just all macro play that, like, we were out macroed at a sense. But, like, my goal is to really advance the team. So if I don't change my play style, then that's not going to change anything either. So I decided to kind of freshen up on Orianna. I mean, I tried Talia against Chase Squad. I do love the assassin play style much more. But if we don't run these more team fight, like 1-3-1 or 1-4-0 or whatever play styles, then the rest of the team and myself won't really advance. And that's my main goal. So I've just kind of been switching it up, and
something I like to comment on that. If you notice, like both games, Seven Shades of Greg had a very like team comp, or like not team, very team fight, long engage, heavy tank team, and it's impossible to just melt down a tank in this meta right now with an assassin. That's when I talked about this during like my RuneScape happy 30 minutes. I hate this meta right now. It's very much revolved around tank. It's not revolved around flashy plays. It's revolved around, okay, can we get beefier and then just force something.
And let me Sorry, are you done?
And so like the last point I was gonna make is like, yeah, I agree with these picks. I agree with the Malzahar, which is like the sustained damage, constant damage, and like the Orianna. That's why Cassiopeia is being played in the LCS a lot right now. It's these long engaged, high DPS mages, controlled mages that are like really in the meta right now. That's why, and that's like that was like my take on it.
Yeah. One more thing to add to that. I do think, I mean, it's a good strategy. Like, you know, basically, like, you pick a lot of consistent damage, tankier people with, like, low cooldowns and then, like, a hyper carry. So, like, whether it's Caitlyn and, like, all these tanks and if all 4 tanks have adaptive helm to stop the damage over time, like, to kind of prevent the point of the control mage with consistent damage, like, that worked out well. Or, you know, it's Echo and 4 Peel. But no, really, I think it works. But I too am upset, Lugo, with like the fact that the meta is just so focused around you can just run a DPS and low cooldown tanks and you consistently win.
Yeah.
Just from that. But I do think it's interesting. I wish it was different. But it forces you to learn a different playstyle, which I think can only really advance the players. So that's
because like it was like even with you saying that, where like you got the tanks with all adaptive helm, there are still ways to counter tank meta. There are champions who really excel. I think Gert showed one today with the Trundle, and I think that's a big. Honestly, I've had on my radar because I'm like, Trundle's gonna be strong soon again, just because it's heading back towards the tank meta. Same thing with Sivir. And the buffs helped, but Sivir's gonna be strong again. So gonna be like a higher A tier again soon because of the meta, because of where it's shifting. And I think right now it's a little bit in turmoil because all this stuff kind of just happened. But like, it's been literally 2 weeks since it became tank meta again. Those counters haven't had time to pop up yet. They're going to come. You're going to start seeing them on people's streams and LCS where there's just champions or strats that you're just like, oh, that's how you beat tank meta, you know? And there's gonna be options. It's just not clear yet what they are. So,
well like,
I
sorry.
I was gonna say, I think the tank meta, you know, there's 2 ways to beat the tank meta, and one of them is doing the same thing in similar style to what, like just similar to J-War's playstyle and playing something assassin-y, and you just have to get kills early or screwed completely, or playing the tank shredders, Malzahar, Valkaz, playing stuff that will,
Gnar.
And I think too that it's not that, you know, it was ineffective in what they did. I agree that some of the macro was part of the issue. Part of the issue too is that, as Lugo mentioned, there was still some weak points coming from the Sivir. The Sivir had the 4th least, like was 4th in damage on the team, and that late in the game, Sivir should not be behind damage to the support brand. Or, I mean, brand does a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but still, like, it's Sivir. It's that late in the game, and so I think that, you know, that was part of that issue too. Just and that's a small thing, not necessarily macro, but I think that is also a little bit part of it.
So, we never really talked about game 1 at all.
Wait, I have something real quick.
Okay,
that has to happen.
Okay.
Shout out to my boy Ryan, Splooge Farmer, watching the stream right now.
Oh my gosh.
Alright.
I just want to touch on that first game because it was the first taste of Urgot. New Urgot.
Yeah, that shit's disgusting.
I just want to say, holy crap, that was nasty. The 1v2 where you still killed Hecarim, like, what the heck was that?
So the thing is, Urgot fits really well into my playstyle.
Urgot.
Shut up. That's how I say it. Okay.
Urgot.
So his he fits really well now into what I play because he's a really, really late game champion, and a lot of that comes from his passive. Because at level like 14 or 15, I don't know exactly which one, it jumps up to 100% AD scaling and 8% of the target's maximum health as damage on each
Which one-
hit, dropping
one's
10%. What?
Which one's actually the passive? Is that the shotgun knees? Or
Shotgun
is that
knees.
shield?
Wait,
I'm
wait,
so
wait,
confused.
wait. Urgot's shotgun knees do percent damage?
8% maximum health on top of the 100%.
What?
Yeah.
I never
And
fucking knew that.
they have an 8-second cooldown per leg,
It is
doing a
so
minimum
dumb.
of 70% of that damage.
It's like Fiora, but
Oh, I can
Not to
definitely.
mention, not to mention that his W all counts for the purpose of on hits. So it shoots 3 times per second for 4 seconds, doing 12 shots. After 8 of those, your Ferber's max stacked, and you can get your Black Cleaver stacked. So
Oh
I went into that knowing Fish Baby Bot plays Galio, and I said, if Garrett was really worried about him getting Galio, and I said, nah, don't worry. Late game, I'm just going to be shredding armor. It's not really going to matter
Okay.
because everybody else is going to get blown up by the shotgun knees.
Okay, Saito. I have a question for you. Okay, I have 2 questions. I'm sorry. One, how do you pronounce your name? Like, that's
The summoner name?
yeah. Let's go with that.
I always said it's Saito.
Saito. Okay.
Nope.
But Saito works too.
Sayato.
Saito.
It's Sayato or Phoebe.
Okay, Saito.
Where did you get it from?
Whoa.
Okay.
My
I don't
questions
know.
first. Calm down, Justin. So my second question. So I like experimenting in the jungle, puns intended. So I want your take on this. Like, just watching that, I already see my vision. I want a Cinder Bomb on that thing. I want it in the jungle. I want full attack speed runes.
The shotgun knee explicitly say they do less damage to monsters. They built the new Urgot to try and keep him out of the jungle.
Yeah, but like, I bet
Really
they,
annoying.
I bet they felt the same way about Echo. But like, let's look at Cinder Bomb here and sit down and talk to Riot about how they fucked up.
Yo, I got a question. Why the fuck do you call it Cinder Bomb?
I have no idea what the name of it is.
Bammy
Cinderhulk.
and
Cinderhulk.
Cinderhulk. He's combining the 2 names.
But Bomb.
Insight on that logo, you should talk to Dylan. Never forgotten. He was playing a jungle today. He experimented with Warrior, Cinderhulk, and Bloodrazor to find that Bloodrazor was the least effective of all of them because it does apply on the W, but it is like 0 damage. Like it's only a third of it per auto,
Yeah.
so it's really not effective. What shocked me the most in the first game, right? I was upset because I did 0 damage. Like I think I still did most damage on the team, but like because straight up like stacking MR Fearless Mastery enemy team, I was like I could not be effective, and there was like 3 Merc Treads in the first like 10 minutes of the game or some shit I remember. Besides that, watching Urgot walk through my blue buff and use his W to insta-kill control ward was the most tilting fucking thing.
Dude, I saw that.
I was like, wait a goddamn minute. Like, he placed the ward, I was like, oh, we can catch him. He's gonna take forever to take this control ward.
And then it was
come out of there.
Dude, I saw that in stream and I didn't realize that. And like, as soon as I was like, wait, so that to clear
Blew my
What the
fucking
fuck?
mind. I'd seen it before, but I totally forgot that it even. Forgot that it worked like that. It fucking blew me
Yep.
away.
Yep. It can do anything a basic attack can do,
That's so dumb.
except crit. That's the only thing it can't do.
Wait,
Holy
really?
shit! Imagine.
Wait.
that.
Yep, W cannot crit.
Wait,
So don't build crit on Urgot.
Thank God.
wait,
I actually didn't know that what you said, Saito, about the max health damage. We would not have brought that. The problem is that like nobody really knows how to play against Urgot if you don't have a PvE account. So
Mhm.
I was suggesting like I think it does the damage, but I didn't say that to the team. I was like, nah, he'll probably be fine. And then he was like, oh, I'm good. I never thought I'd see myself getting pushed in by Urgot, but I'm good.
a champion that I see going well against Urgot right now is Kled. You just need,
Kled.
you need
Darius seems like a good counter at this point
Dude,
because he is the one that will like just shit out tons and tons of damage if you stay in an extended fight. And Urgot,
Sato, you're a robot.
He sounds fine to me. It's you.
but he just has a really, really short attack range. And you can't get close to a Darius without getting pulled
Oh,
or
it's me.
queued.
Okay.
I feel like Fiora would get destroyed early because
Oh.
she can't abuse vitals because she dashes and gets shotgunned in the face.
I can send you a nice plays.tv clip of an Urgot versus Fiora I had yesterday.
I just
no,
want to
earlier
see
today.
her like I long for a worthy opponent, and she like dashes and fucking.
Hold on.
So how many games, Sayada, how many games did you put in on that today before you pulled it out?
One ranked flex, a bunch of time testing builds in customs and
Gotcha.
the training mode.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. So I'm gonna put something in the Discord chat. Here's a nice play of Urgot versus Fiora.
Oh my gosh.
Why am I?
Wait.
This
where
is
did-
about how it goes.
Wait, full health. Wait,
I don't know. I don't see the
that's
video,
disgusting.
so I'm not gonna play it. He wants to see my RuneScape live stream again.
But anyway,
Yeah.
it's late. I'm tired. Congrats
No
on
more
the 2-0.
questions.
That doesn't affect you because you were subbing. Austin.
Yeah, isn't that
Um,
great?
Congrats on the double MVP.
Yeah.
You've doubled your win
Everyone
total
can hear it.
on the split.
Okay.
Does anybody else have questions for Austin?
Nope.
Who's Austin?
That's
Sayada.
me.
My bad. I
No,
forgot
I'm
that-
fucking with you.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions for Justin that aren't troll? It's fuck you, Lugo.
Oh my god, our names are one letter off.
Alright, well, this has been an exhilarating night of PMA LCS.
I have a question for Eric.
Oh god. What?
In Flavortown,
I knew it was gonna be Guy Fieri related.
do you put the lime in the coconut and shake it all up?
Well, it depends. Do you like pina coladas?
And getting caught in the rain.
I hate all of you.
I'm leaving.
No, I do have a real question though. Wait, from the
Okay,
casters.
for real.
Actual question.
Cool.
Alright.
Outside, inside.
Outside what?
This is real, and Lugo as a mid laner. Maybe you could give me some insight. What do I actually do as Oriana into like tank,
Okay.
mid, and jungler who like get MR first?
So,
Like, my only
Get
idea
good.
was to like I had to get a Morello. I was like I need that,
Yeah.
Right.
and I know I need Leandries and Void, but I just delay all my damage on the like on Urgot and Caitlyn by doing that.
honestly, like I would have gone. I think you did this. You first rushed the Morellos, Sorks, and then Leandries.
Right.
That's core 3. At that point, it's like I'd build what's it called? Either a Rylai's or a Death Cap, and then
So
my second item would be the flip because
Yeah, I'd go with Death Cap.
fuck the Void, just go
Yeah,
Leandries,
just
Rylai's.
Leandries Rylai's because what that does is it slows them and it allows for that sustained damage longer. It adding Rylai's extends team fights, and that's what you want with Leandries.
So Gargoyle Stemplate's such a dumb fucking item. I wasn't even worried about the active. It's that like you get 80 of each stat for only 2,500 gold.
And
That's crazy.
Well, that's about what GA was.
also Sork boot stacks.
GA was only 50, and it didn't have an active that gave you double health. It just revived you with 30%.
I'm not defending the active. I'm talking about just the passive stats. Was it? Is it
Right.
80? I didn't think
But
it was.
for the gold that Gargoyle Stemplate is worth, I believe it is worth so much more.
Hang on. I don't think you get 80 in each one. Let me
You
look.
get 80. You get 40 and 40, and if you're in a team fight, you get 80.
Oh,
Those
well,
are
if
my
you're okay.
Doritos.
I got you. Math is hard. I understand now.
I have
fucking
been
cool, man.
Justin J.R. Ferrar.
Ferrari. I'm going to bed.
I'm eating my Cool Reg Doritos.
Good
Did you
night.
not the stream yet, Lugan?
Bye.
Yeah, I'm done. Alright, good night, stream. Hop onto my stream for another fun 3 hours of League and RuneScape.
Get fucking good. Your stats are shit.
Whoa,
Hey,
calm down.
calm down. Whoa, calm down.
Holy crap.
Holy shit! Leave that in leave that
In
leave
the
that
VOD?
no, leave that toxicity in League.
Oh.
Okay.
Yo, Jingle PMA cheered.
Buying GF.
Thanks for the cheer. Cheer. Okay, I'm done.
I hate you so much.
Okay, bye.